notice how liberal states tend to defy and outright ignore federal laws whenever it suits their own agenda, with little to no consequences by the federal government? Look at how many states have already legalized marijuana. Look how many more plan to legalize it in the next few years, knowing full well that it is a federal crime. And yet, does anything happen to them? Do they suffer any consequences from the federal government for doing so? No, they don't. They get off scot-free. And in fact, a lot of these places, a lot of these states, tend to be the states that get the most funding from the federal government. The same thing applies to illegal immigration. How many states, how many cities refuse to enforce laws already on the books by the federal government? Some of those actually sanctuary cities where they not only not enforce the law, they actively move against the federal government to try to prevent them from doing the job they're supposed to be doing. And then when you have a state like Arizona that stands up and says, we are going to enforce these laws that you won't, they get struck down by the federal government for trying to do the job the federal government won't do. When is the last time you saw a conservative state step up and say, we don't care about Obamacare, we're going to ignore it? Not going to happen here. Or NFA laws? No, I don't think so. Not in our state. Or what about your higher taxes from the federal government? No, 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 we're not going to do that here, sorry. It doesn't happen. Why? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Mostly it's because conservatives actually care about the law. Conservatives, libertarians like myself, we care. We don't think it's right to disobey the laws simply for our own personal agenda. Liberals, on the other hand, only care about themselves and their agenda and are willing to do pretty much whatever they can get away with. And there's the problem. You see, I think it's about time that as conservatives we actually start to follow the example of the liberals. Why not have a little civil disobedience? Why not petition our governments on the state and local level to ignore these ridiculous laws and do so loud enough, just like the liberals do on the other side, that they have to pay attention and have to listen? It's time to stand up. It's time to make your voice heard. Things like Obamacare, higher taxes, NFA, FFL laws, these are ridiculous things that do no good and simply hurt the people and try to control us to do what the government wants us to do. And that's all it is. It's time to stand up. It's time to petition whoever you need to, whoever you think will allow you to make your voice even louder on a public political scale. Do what you need to do, because now is the time before we lose everything we have around us. And yes, some people will come in and say, no, no, but things are better now than they ever have been. Look how many new gun owners there are. Yes, we've had some advantages here and there, but we have been fighting against over 100 years of gun laws, over 100 years of progressive ideas and ideologies. And sure, when we take a step back a little bit, get a little bit more of our rights that we lost 50 years ago, it feels good. But are we back where we should be? No. It's time to do something about it, and it's time to do something about it now.